This podcast is brought to you in part by P&P Games, your online source for everything video games. Visit their website at pnpgames.com or at their 2 retail locations in Winnipeg, Manitoba. All right, everybody, and welcome to the Nintendo Pulse Podcast, episode number 48. As always, I'm your host, Lloyd Hannison, and joining me, Stephen Munn. Stephen, how are you?
I'm doing okay, Lloyd. How about you?
I'm doing okay. I can't hit buttons, apparently. I have problems clicking buttons on my keyboard to make music start. Other than that, I'm doing pretty damn good. It's the end of May. Did you know that?
I did know that.
How crazy is that?
That's pretty crazy. This year is moving pretty quick.
E3 is 2 weeks away, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that all the news that is not like already leaked out or somehow just didn't make it out through normal channels just kind of fell off of, I don't know, papers at a coffee shop were left behind, or someone told a friend who got overheard by someone else. All that news has kind of been like kind of put away, and we don't really have much to talk about this week, so we're going to talk about
pretty light.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some games though. Games are good. Some interesting games came out this week, and some good things, and we even got a voicemail, Steven. So our loyal listeners are making up for the lack of gaming content, which is always a good thing.
Cool.
It should be good. Okay,
I'm excited.
I'm going to flip down that music. All right, let's get into the show. Again, a huge thanks out to P&P Games for supporting the podcast network. Love them here. You can go to pnpgames.com, check out all of the stuff that they have for sale. New games, retro games. You can find it all at pnpgames.com. I was actually there on Saturday. It was my birthday on Saturday, and I had kind of a me day. So part of my me day was going shopping with my son, and we went to go look at old video games. So he bought his first retro game, and he bought this one, which is Hot Wheels Stunt Track Challenge on the Game Boy Advance. So not the best game ever, but it's actually a lot of fun. He's been enjoying it. I got it for like $8. So, and it came with a box and a manual, which is pretty stupid that it was so cheap. And they have all sorts of things like that. So do go check them out. pnpgames.com, click online store, and you can check all of their retro stuff and all their new stuff. Or check their blog to see what they're doing in store if you're here locally in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Cool.
All right, man, let's get into the show. It's been a week since we last talked. What have you been playing?
I haven't been doing a lot of gaming this week. Just a little bit here, a little bit there. I played some more Tiny Tower on my Android device, but I'm kind of falling off on it a little bit. Mm-hmm. I think that the buying new floors part of it, they're getting further and further apart. So it's starting to get a little bit tiring to wait for another floor. And it's also
I can see that.
It's also kind of frustrating to put in a residential level, drop a real estate agent on it, and get 5 people whose dream jobs aren't even in the tower. Like,
or their dream jobs are such that they only have a level 5 interest in it. It's their dream job, but they don't really like it, really.
Yeah,
that always annoys me.
My fiance has twice now gotten citizens who are 0 in every stat.
Oh my goodness, they're great.
They're absolutely useless. She's like, "Oh, nice, evict." I couldn't even call her heartless for that because they're just totally useless.
No, they are.
But she sent me a screenshot of one of them because she's on an iPad, so it's easy for her to take screenshots. So she sent me a picture of the first one that she got, and I was like, "Wow, that person sucks."
I don't know if I ever had someone. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure I did have someone that had all 0s, and it's just like, why is this an option? Why can have 0 for a stat? That doesn't make sense to me. But it's part of the game. It's what makes it interesting until you grow tired of it and don't want to play it anymore, which is kind of what happened to me after a little while. But I did have fun while playing it. It definitely is a fun title.
Yeah, it's addictive. I mean, you get started on it, and it's hard to stop playing it.
Mm-hmm.
It can be just a little bit creepy at times with how much how I was thinking about it. Also, some Find Me. You know, we got a couple new puzzles.
Still having fun with that?
Yeah, I'm hoping that when I go to the Best Buy event, the Best Buy Wii U event, that I will be able to get some more pieces because I'm not really making any real progress on those newest puzzles on the pink ones. So,
You know, speaking of the Best Buy event, we'll talk about the list a little bit later, but there was the announcement for in Canada, they're doing a Animal Crossing tour where they're going across a whole bunch of cities in Canada and basically doing Animal Crossing about a week after the game comes out. They're not coming to Winnipeg. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go there. I'm going to get like 50 street passes. This is going to be awesome. And then it turns out they're not even coming to Winnipeg. I was really kind of upset about that. And we're not even a small city, so I don't understand. Like there's smaller cities that are getting Nintendo coming by. So Nintendo has Winnipeg bias, and I'm going to call Reggie and I'm going to get that sorted out. I will call the Reginator directly and get that all figured out because that's not right. Because I do have his phone number.
you should.
I don't.
He'll be like, my body is ready for your call.
He'll just come over and he'll just beat me up. It'll be exactly what'll happen. He'll like, okay, coming over, be ready, and he'll just kick my ass and then take my name because he won't remember it because I'm a nobody in his world.
And he's the Reginator.
Exactly. Cool. Anything else? Anything else you've been playing?
Yeah, I mean, I played some more Mega Man Dr. Wily's Revenge, which is an original Game Boy game on the Winnie Red. That's a good one.
Winnie Reg.
Yeah.
Winnie
which
Reg.
is on the
Winnie Reg would be better.
It would. The 3DS Virtual Console.
Nice.
It's basically a monochrome Mega Man game where the characters are much, much larger and everything runs very slowly.
And bullets come at you before you even see the enemy that's shooting.
Yeah. Yeah,
I remember that.
It's much more cheapness in it than your average Mega Man game.
I remember a buddy of mine growing up got this game for like Christmas or birthday or whatever, and he said it was terrible. And I was like, it's Mega Man. It can't be terrible. And then I played it, and I was just like, oh yeah, you can have it back now. I don't even want to beat it. Yeah, it's fun, but yeah, it's not a Mega Man game.
Yeah, it was really inexpensive. I think it was like $2 or $3 on there, and I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Sure, might as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'd really wanted them to release that Mega Man Anniversary Collection for Game Boy Advance that they announced years ago, and then silently never did anything with. It was supposed to be all of those games bundled into one.
And then they thought of the Virtual Console, and dollar signs appeared in all their eyeballs, and it was never to be seen.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yep. Cool.
And the 30-cent Super Metroid.
Did you get some of that? Did you get your 30 cents worth out of it? Or do you still feel ripped off, Steven?
I think just sitting through the download is more than 30 cents worth of it. That's an incredible deal. I bought it for $8 on Wii Virtual Console when it came out years ago.
Right.
And I played hours of it then, and I've played a few minutes of it, I'd say, 30, 40 minutes of it on Wii U as well.
I saw some people bitching online about it. It's like, is it even worth the 30 cents to download this one? And I can't remember who said it, but there was a funny quote. It's like, I need a shotgun and the address of the person that just wrote this. And it kind of made me giggle. It's like, yeah, I mean, 30 cents, like any game that was ever released for any console is worth the 30 cents. Like, it doesn't matter how bad
Just
the game is.
Yeah.
It, like the Donkey Kong math game on the NES, that is worth 30 cents. I would never play it, but I would still buy it if it was released for 30 cents.
Yeah, I probably would too.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best games on the Super Nintendo era as far as platformers is. I mean, it's obviously not the best, but it ranks up there in maybe the top 25. And for 30 cents, it's just a ridiculous price.
It is.
Redonkulous.
Yeah, like you said, easily one of the best games on the Super NES, and the Super NES may be the best console ever released.
Yeah, it definitely it has the ticket to appear in the Battle Royale. That's for sure.
That's certainly in the running.
Cool. Awesome. Well,
pretty much it.
That's it for you.
think so. Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Well, you know how we were talking about a game called Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, and I was like, it's just the Wii version. No reason to pick it up on the 3DS. It's got some new stuff, but probably not enough. I'll pick it up when I'm bored one day and don't have something to play.
You stuck to your guns and didn't buy it, right?
Oh yeah. That's what I was gonna say, Steven. Not that I picked it up on.
And so I played nothing this week. Now moving on to the news.
Exactly. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. No, I picked it up when I went to a P&P. I was just like, they got a copy. Okay, fine, I'll buy it. So my son played his Hot Wheels game. My daughter played a Dora game on her DS. I bought her a new Princess Peach 3DS, or sorry, DS Lite holder. So she has this nice little pouch for her DS Lite that dresses like Princess Peach, and it has a big stylus that's about, I don't know, 10 inches long, that has a big Princess Peach on the top of it. So she enjoys that. It's pretty much useless as a stylus. It's better as a wand, I guess, but whatever. She enjoys that. So she played some Dora. My son played, I don't know, Hot Wheels Stunt Track Challenge, and then I played Donkey Kong Country, and all was right in the world. It was a pretty damn good day.
It does sound actually pretty good.
Yeah, so I picked it up, and yeah, it's the Wii version. When you first start the game, it asks you whether you want to play the normal classic mode or casual mode, and if you play casual mode, you get 1 extra heart, and some other things have been changed, but it's pretty much that is the only difference. It plays awesome on the portable. I played the hell out of it when it was on the Wii, and now I'm playing the hell out of it on my 3DS. It's kind of my lunchtime game. I have 15 minutes to kill. I will make my way through 2 levels and collect all the Kongs and other things, and then I put it away and don't even think about it anymore. So it's a great title to have on my 3DS, almost so that I wish I digitally downloaded it so that I would always have it on there. I wouldn't have to worry about having the cartridge in my cartridge slot. But yeah, it's definitely good. If you're looking for a really fun platformer and you're tired of the Marios, you can definitely check out Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D on the 3DS. Other than that, I started playing Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And that's pretty much it for my Nintendo platforms. I've been playing Far Cry 3 on my 360. I want to soldier through that one as quick as possible so I can do a review of that. Enjoying the hell out of that game. Playing a lot of stuff on my iOS platforms, so both on my iPhone and my iPad. So it's been a good gaming week. I've been getting a lot of time in to play some games. So all's right with the world, Steven.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, speaking about all that is right with the world, we got a voicemail. How about we play it and then we talk about it?
Let's do it.
All right, so here we go. Voicemail that was sent to 505 VG Podcasts. If you want us to read out your name and talk about it and have your question on a future episode of the show, call us, 505 VG Podcasts. Really easy to do, and you can be played on the podcast just like this guy. This guy. Don't tell me Google's down.
Hello,
oh,
my
there
name
it
is
is.
Arcade
Phew.
Lion, and I had a question, or this question is for the Nintendo Pulse podcast. I had a question regarding the Wii U. I have a Wii right now, and it's just collecting dust. Granted, I never bought many games for the Wii, and I thought about trading that in for the Wii U. But my question is, should I do that now, or should I wait until after E3 to see if the price drops, and also if there are any, there going to be any really good games coming up for the Wii U? Now, granted, I didn't play many Wii games to begin with, so I can go back and play that library of games, but just wanted your opinion. Should I trade in my Wii for the Wii U now, or should I wait until after E3? Thanks.
All right, so there we go. There was a voicemail from Arcade Lion. I'm thinking that's not his given name. That might be his online alias, but you never know.
If it is his given name, that's pretty awesome. I really like his parents.
That is a pretty cool name. If that's his real name, I'm going to be really jealous. Pretty much is what it is. So his question is, he has a Wii, and he wants to pick up a Wii U, but should he do it now, trade in his Wii for, I don't know, $70 off the cost of his Wii U or whatever the trade-in value is? So I think that's didn't EB Games or GameStop announce that they're giving $79 or something for trade-in value on a Wii, or was it $59?
79? That's quite a bit.
I think it was something like that. It was maybe $70 or $50, whatever it was.
They must really want to get rid of those Wii U's.
Yeah, that could be exactly what it is. So, Steven, what do you think? Do you think that is something he should do now, because the cost of the Wii U might drop in price, or if the Wii U drops in price, the Wii would drop in price most likely. Nintendo would probably drop the price on the Wii console, although they do have that stupid red slim mini one, which is the most useless console that has ever released. I don't know. What are your thoughts? I know what I think, but I thought I'd give you a little bit of time to think about it, and maybe go first if you want.
Well, there's a couple of things. I mean, the price of it is not going to go up.
No, you're never going to
So-
get more money in trade for your console.
Yeah. That's the other side of it. What I meant was that the price of the Wii U is never going to go up.
Right. Okay.
On the other hand, it could become more scarce if suddenly demand goes way up.
Right.
The other thing I'm thinking is if he has a Wii, he may have some stuff downloaded on there that he wants to migrate to the Wii U, which means he couldn't trade the Wii in. He has to have it,
Right.
at the same time that he has the Wii U.
Right. No, that's a good point. I never thought about that. I know in Winnipeg we had some really crazy game trade laws where you could only trade something for something that was the same. So you could trade a game for a game or a console for a console, but you couldn't trade a bunch of games in and then have it sit in credit at the store.
Why?
I don't know. Some crazy law. They changed this, I want to say 5 years ago, just shortly after I traded in for my my PlayStation 3. I traded in an old PS2 because I had bought a friend's collection, and he had a whole bunch of games and consoles. So I traded in a PS2, 2 controllers, a stack of PlayStation 2 games that I didn't want, some of my GameCube games, a couple Wii games, a bunch of PSP games, like just everything that I didn't want anymore. I put it in a big box and brought it to EB Games, traded it in, and I basically got a PlayStation 3 for $50. And this is when they first launched, and they were like, you'd have to work 2 jobs and be happy about it, according to Ken Kutaragi. So I traded everything in for one system. And then shortly after, they changed the law because they didn't want people to break into houses, steal all the stuff, and then you basically use the game stores as a way to launder money, essentially, where you bring all your stuff in, trade it in, then keep that value on a card, and then go to another store and buy your games or whatever. It's since changed back, so that is not a rule anymore, except for, I think, consoles. If you trade in a console, you have to use that money to buy another console. But when I bought my Wii U, I asked the question about a Wii. It was like, well, I want to transfer my data from my Wii. Can I buy the Wii U now and then come back tomorrow and give you my Wii and then get that money as credit, even though that it was after because of these stupid rules? And like, yeah, sure, do that, no problem. So,
Wow.
so I mean, if you're definitely wanting to get a Wii U, I can't. As much as I'd like to see them drop the price, I don't think that's going to happen at E3 unless Microsoft launches their Xbox One at like $299. Then Nintendo's going to have to drop the price. I don't see that happening, just because I mean all the stuff that comes with the Xbox One, I can't see it being priced at less than say $400. And that's even a stretch. It might be $450 or $500. PlayStation 3 is going to be around the same price. I think Nintendo has a couple years before they really have to drop the price, except if they have to spur sales. So I don't know. It's kind of a hard thing. You have a bit of a gamble ahead of you. If there's games on the Wii U that you want to play right now, trade it in now, because you're never gonna get more money in trade in for your Wii. Unless, like Steven said, you want to get some of that data off, then you have to kind of do it in a weird order. Because who knows, at E3 they could launch, they could say that the Wii has dropped to $99, and then you've basically lost 50% of your trade-in value for your Wii. So,
or they could say the Wii U is dropping by $50 in price, and it makes sense to wait.
Exactly.
So
it's roll the dice, pick a number, roll the dice, and see if it lands on that number. Then there you go. Do whatever you think. It could definitely really go either way. I'm not predicting anything at E3 as far as price drops, but I mean, I wasn't predicting the $80 price drop for the 3DS either, and that kind of came out of nowhere and really saved that that console. The 3DS is viable now because of that price drop. They might need to do something as drastic with the Wii U, depending on what the pricing for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One is. So, Yeah, good luck, Arcade Lion. Hopefully that was clear as mud for you, because I'm just as confused as you are probably.
The last factor is the games. I mean, if there are games on the Wii U platform that he wants to play right now, games that have already released, not games that are supposed to come soon, then it probably makes sense for him to pay to go pick up the console. Otherwise, I would say no. Just wait for something to come out that he wants to play.
Yeah,
and that's the rule for all consoles, I think.
Yeah, unless you're an early adopter or someone that does reviews games for a living, or even does a podcast like this one. I mean, this isn't my living, but I love to review games, tell you guys about fun stuff, and it was great talking about my experience getting a launch Wii U and waiting in line and doing all that fun stuff. But I mean, there probably aren't enough games on the Wii U for me even to justify my purchase now if I was thinking about buying a Wii U. I mean, there's New Super Mario U, Zombie U, what else? Everything else that I'd want to play, except for Lego City, which is a really awesome game. Everything else that I've played on the Wii U has been kind of cross-platform, whether it's on the PlayStation 3 that I could have picked it up on, or if I could have picked it up on the Wii.
Or on Steam.
Or on Steam, exactly. Yeah. So we'll see what Nintendo announces at E3. You know that they're going to be talking about the Mario Galaxy spin-off, the Smash Brothers spin-off, the 3D Zelda spin-off. We're going to find out more about those big franchises. And there's probably going to be some secret stuff that we have no clues even coming, like maybe a new Metroid Prime-like game. Maybe they'll reboot one of their old franchises. Maybe bring back, like, I don't know. I have no idea of an old Nintendo franchise, but maybe some of that stuff will say, "Hey, you have
Ice
to go."
Climber.
Yeah, Ice Climber.
Clue Land.
There you go. I mean, we've already got our balloon hunt or balloon fight or whatever, so you might as well start rebooting some of that stuff. But yeah, there might be some games that Nintendo announces at E3 that says, "Okay, yep, come June, July, August, September, October, November, whatever these release dates are, I know that I'm going to be buying a game a month, so this console makes sense to have in my house." And if you're looking to buy a next-gen console, but you don't want to spend $500, you're definitely going to save a fair bit of money buying the Nintendo console, because it's going to be probably $200 cheaper than everything else. You could probably buy 3 or 4 games in the money that you save not buying a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One at launch. So, yeah, there's the information. You use it how you will. It's confusing. As I said, it's a gamble either way. You could make out really well or kind of be screwed out of $50 or more if the Wii U gets a really, really big price drop.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So, thanks again to Arcade Lion for sending in the voicemail. Love to get voicemail and emails. Send them in, vgpodcast@gmail.com or area code 505 VG Podcasts, and we'll talk about them in the show. Excuse me. All right. Let's talk about notable releases. I already talked about it. Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D came out last Friday, so almost a week ago, I guess. It's $35 new, and it's a lot of fun. It's essentially the Wii game that came out a year-ish ago. So if you haven't played the Wii version, or if you had and you liked it and want to play a version of that on the go and have it with you wherever you are, you definitely can't go wrong with that one. It's a lot of fun. They did a really good job kind of solidifying the platforming. Even the controls are okay.
Yeah, I've heard the controls are improved.
Yeah, you don't have to shake the unit to do anything, which automatically makes it 100% better. The one thing that I've done a few times is it's pretty easy to do your roll move. So when you're moving forward and you hit the ground pound button, and I've done that off platforms a lot when I first started. So you just learn to stop if you want to do a ground pound. Don't do it while you're moving. But yeah, the controls are great. It looks good. The 3D is actually even decent. I have problems looking at games in 3D on the 3DS XL. It looks like there's like a black bar down the middle of the screen. It just doesn't sync up properly for me. Could be my new glasses that I got. I'm not sure. But the 3D on this one didn't give me headaches or anything as well. So, do check it out. Also out this week, we have the Legend Oracle of Ages and Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. They both hit the App Store, the eShop rather. They're available for $5 for 3 weeks. So if you want to,
you mean $5 for the two combined, right?
No,
because that's a fair price, I think.
Yeah, well, even $5 each. I mean, for a Zelda game, not so bad, but they are Game Boy Color games. They're not something that has come out in the last year or so. So, I mean, they are old. You'd think that they might be a little bit cheaper. But I think even buying these ones used, they still hold their value. So if you want to buy the physical cartridges, they're...
So I can buy... Oh, okay.
So
I was going to say I can buy used games on the eShop now? That would be...
That'd be great. These bits have been heavily used, so
they're a little worn.
We've run them through a cleaning cycle or two, but use them at your own risk.
You have 1 week to return these bits if they do not work.
Exactly. So yeah, I did a quick search of eBay, and it looks like even just loose cartridges, they're around $15 for the games, even though they came out in 2001. So there's still some good resale value for these games. So $5 each isn't too bad. If you buy them, like I said, before 3 weeks time has lapsed, you'll get them for $1 cheaper. So they're regular regular $5.99 on for $4.99. So it's a good $10 to spend if you like Zelda games. They're not the best Zeldas that have ever been released, but they're pretty fun. They're
not bad. I just I've beaten them both already, so I can't see doing another playthrough.
Yeah.
But I think if I hadn't played them and I didn't own them on cartridges, then I'd probably spring for this, especially with the nice big screen.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun to play Game Boy Advance games on the big screen of the 3DS XL.
Yeah,
I hadn't played Game Boy any of the downloaded Game Boy games, except for, actually no, that's not right. I played Kicks a little bit. So for some reason, I guess I didn't realize how big it was. And then playing this game on it is just like, holy crap, this screen is huge. It's like I'm playing a mega Game Boy. Or have the huge ass magnifying glass that everybody had when they had the big fat old black and white Game Boy.
That was terrible.
Yeah, everybody thought it was a good idea to buy one of those.
lamp.
Everybody had to have one for some strange reason.
Because the screen was awful on that thing.
It was terrible. It was terrible. So yeah, check them out. I went to howlongtobeat.com and did a search for Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages, and it looks like the average playthrough is about 15 hours. So for $10, you're going to get 30 hours of Zelda RPG fun. Not a bad...
Or if you're me, probably 2 to 3 times that, including a lot of running around lost.
Yes, that is also possible. You are at the far end of the bell curve, Steven.
I'm pretty bad with the Zelda games that way. The only Zelda game that I ever made really solid forward progress on was Wind Waker, and that game was really, really good at keeping me pushing forward, I think.
Yep, exactly. All right, moving on. Let's get into the news. We talked about this at the start of the show. The Best Buy E3 locations have been released. So, as we mentioned last episode, Nintendo announced during the last Nintendo Direct that you people at home, you can participate in E3 just by going to a local Best Buy, as long as it's one of the 100 that we've given the blessing to, I guess. So this week, Nintendo released a list. So it's basically a list of the state and the city, or the province and the city. So it doesn't say what exact Best Buy it is. So Michigan, Ann Arbor, Flint, Grand Rapids, and Rochester Hills, for example. So I don't know if in Ann Arbor, if they have multiple Best Buys. If so, you're going to have to call around to figure out which one is going to have your Best Buy kiosk. But at least it gives you an idea of what cities are going to have one to plan any drives if you have to go do that. I know for here in Manitoba, Winnipeg is getting one, and we only have one Best Buy now because the other one closed sorry, that is not right. We do have 2 Best Buys in town. The Future Shop that is owned by Best Buy here in Canada, they had them side by side in 2 locations, and one of the Future Shops closed. So thank goodness it is at Best Buy. Hopefully it's the one right by my place, so I don't have to drive all the way across the city to go to it. But
my local Best Buy is getting one too.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. I don't know really what to expect. I don't really see a point in going there, but I'm going to do it just so I can talk about it. Is what I've kind of made my mind up about. I can bitch about how annoying it was, or I'm probably going to be bitching about how annoying it is. That's my guess for how this whole thing's going to play out.
Now, I run a Facebook group called Albany Street Pass, which is a 3DS users group for the Albany, New York area, and Albany is one of the cities that's getting one of these Best Buys, and I set up a meeting for the group at the event for the
Nice.
June 12th at 4 p.m.
That's cool.
So if anybody who's listening is in the Albany, New York vicinity or thinks they might want to go, do a search on Facebook for Albany Street Pass and sign up for the group, and come to the meeting, and we can all tag each other, tag the Nintendo reps who are going to be there, and hopefully play some new Mario, some Mario Kart, and some Smash Brothers.
Nice.
That would be really cool.
Be a lot of fun. There's a Facebook community for Street Pass Winnipeg, because I tried to create one, and then I was like, oh, there already is one. And they were really good about updating stuff for like the first, 6 months. And yeah, they haven't updated this since like November 2012. So,
oh, bummer.
Yeah, it really sucks. And they don't allow posts to people that aren't part of the group. So I can't even post to say, hey, check out this other group, which actually has people talking. So I don't know what I'm going to do here. I should maybe email the.
You can't join the group?
I've liked it and I've joined it, I believe, I think. Or is this, no, this is just a page. This isn't even a group. So it's just a community page. So I can't post on their page. Maybe I could just create a group and then try it that way. That might be a way to go about it and invite people to it. Because, yeah, I'd love to set up those types of things as well. I know whenever there's a Comic-Con or any other sort of gathering when, Video Games Live comes through. The last time Video Games Live was here, I think I got like 50 Street Pass, or maybe it was like 40. I had to open and close my 3DS a couple times to clear my cache, because I think it only stores 20 Street Passes at a time or something like
10.
that. It's 10 at a time. So yeah, I was clearing it out, and I cleared it out and then went back into it again, not realizing that it would erase those people, so they weren't part of my Find Me the first time. And I was like, no, I gave up all these free Find Me characters. Yeah, it's always fun to get to big events where there's a lot of people with a particular gaming system. And as you, Stephen, like to do, trade your puzzle pieces and do all that other stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, if you want to find out if your local locations will have it, I'll post links to the lists here in the show notes. All right, so Oracle Ages and Seasons are out. Both of the Oracle games, Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, are out for $5. But Nintendo's having another sale. They like to do the sale thing as of late. It's freaking me out every single time, Steven. Every time I see a sale and it has a Nintendo beside the platform, it kind of makes me double take, and I don't know, like I feel like my blood pressure's going up or something. I don't know what it is. But for this week, last week was if you bought 2 Kirby games, you get the third one free out of the 3 Kirby games that came out. This one has a sale for Mega Man X, which is $8 on the App Store, and Ghosts and Goblins, which is $5 on the sorry, I keep saying App Store, eShop. If you buy one of the games, you get the other one for half price. So buy Ghosts and Goblins for $5 and you'll get Mega Man X for $4. So not a bad sale. Nice. if you want both of those games. Hopefully in the future, Nintendo will allow you to kind of pick and choose, like buy any NES game, get any other NES game at half price or something like that, instead of you need to buy these 2 games whether you like them or not. Maybe the sales will get a little bit more, I don't know, generic in the future, but I don't know. It's really cool just to see them actually have sales on the eShop. That's kind of the right way to go with how good the App Store is for iOS or the Google Play Store is for Android. Things are cheap and very fluid. It's good to see Nintendo kind of adopting some of that stuff as well. All right, moving on. I agree. You agree? Mm-hmm. So I'm not wrong in that statement, Stephen.
Nope. It's so rare. It's so rare and it's different to see Nintendo putting things on sale.
I almost want to go wash my mouth out with soap whenever I say Nintendo and sale right beside each other. It's like I swore to a priest or something. It's just something really wrong. But it seems to be the way Nintendo's trying to get with the times, which is a really good thing. All right, moving on. This was announced for Japan. Odds are it's going to come to North America as well. Nintendo announced this week that when the DLC comes out for New Super Mario Bros. U, which gets you the ability to buy Super Luigi U from within the game, they're going to have to release a title patch to New Super Mario Bros. U. So that title patch will be coming out just before or on June 19th. Which is nice. The fact that Nintendo can actually patch their games now is a really good thing, and just only bodes well for the future. But they also added the fact that this patch is going to allow you to use the Pro controller with the game. So not only is this just a way to get you in there to spend $20, they're actually adding functionality to it, which I would have to say is kind of a first for Nintendo. They're usually not.
That's another surprise. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't release a game until it's perfect, and then they refuse that there's anything wrong with it. It's like, nope, this is the perfect experience that we had planned for you at this particular point. But it's really weird. Now they're patching a game and adding more functionality to it, which is good. That can only be a good thing. That just means that in a year or two, when some new device or peripheral comes out, Nintendo could then say, yeah, we should maybe have that on blah, and then patch those games to support that device as well. Where in the past with like Animal Crossing on the Wii, the microphone came out with that game, and that was pretty much the only game that supported it because no third parties really wanted to use it, and Nintendo wasn't about to add it to any of their other games. So it kind of just sat lonely on top of your television saying, please talk to me. I want to talk to you as well. So yeah, this it's good news. Pro controller isn't such a huge, amazing win, but it.
I don't even own one.
I bought one at launch just to check it out, and it's awesome. But I would rather use the gamepad at the end of the day. So, but yeah, it's kind of a neat little thing. All right, moving on. Some more patches. Did you pick up Mighty Swap Force on the Wii U? No. Really good game. Fun little game. It's kind of a platformer, way forwards. You kind of know their games. They're good at what they do. They've released a patch, and they're calling it the Hyperdrive Edition update. It's live right now, so if you bought the game, you can actually download the update. It's done a few things. It's lowered the size, which is good because your internal memory on the Wii U isn't huge. 8 or 32 gigs isn't a huge amount of space. They've given a new character. There's a low resolution character called Pixel Patty that you can play as, which is neat. They've adjusted the audio, which is good because when you first hover over the game and it starts playing the music, when you click on it, it's really loud. And a lot of the sound effects on the game are really, really loud to the point where I had to turn my television down. They've actually made a note of the fact that they've made the screaming softer, which is a good thing because, yeah, it fully needed that. It was a very, very loud sound effect. They've done a couple other things where they've allowed you to route all the sound into your gamepad and play directly right on the gamepad with the audio. I noticed that was a problem when I first started playing the game on the gamepad, and I wasn't getting any audio at all, even though I was playing the game. I was only getting some of the sound effects. I turned on my television, and sure enough, most of the audio was coming from the TV. So now everything is coming directly to the gamepad as it should. And cool. they've done a lot of other things as well. They're really putting some love into this game. Not only have they redrawn all the sprites initially to get this version out there, they're patching it and making it kind of the games they wanted when they first conceived of it, I guess. So I'm really liking this update thing. I mean, people that own a 360 and a PlayStation 3 are used to this type of thing, but if you've ever only own Nintendo consoles, this kind of is something special. There's very few games on the Wii that ever updated. Very few games on the 3DS that have updates, even though it is a little more common. But it's nice to see the Wii allow their developers to release content updates that aren't just bug fixes for crashes, that they allow them to keep adding more content to the game. Makes it look like a modern platform, which Nintendo's trying to sell it as. So
it's about time.
Exactly. It is about time. Moving on to something else that's about time. Have you played Mutant Mudds at all, Steven? I don't know if we've talked about this game.
I played it on the 3DS.
Did you like it?
Thought it was all right.
It's a nice
I played the demo for a little bit and didn't really enjoy it enough to buy it, but it seemed good.
Yeah, it's a fun game. They've done really good with this title. They released it on the 3DS. That did really well. So they released it on iOS, and that did really, really well, except it was at a lower price point. So they probably broke even kind of in sales, I would think. They've just submitted Mutant Mudds Deluxe to the Wii U eShop, and it looks like it went through a couple rounds of certification, but it's finally cleared certification. It'll be hitting the eShop on June 13th, according to a press release that was put out. And basically, this game has all the levels from the 3DS version, all the extra levels from iOS and Steam, I believe. Was it on Steam? I think it was.
Mutant Mudds, yeah.
Yeah. So all the ghost levels and stuff like that. And then they've even added some more levels to this one. So if you want the ultimate Mutant Mudds experience, this is definitely the one to get. It has all the levels. It looks really great on your 1080p television. And yeah, I'll probably be picking this one up on day one, even though I own all the other versions because I'm crazy like that. But if you're not familiar with Mutant Mudds, it's a really kind of retro 8-bit 16-bit kind of platformer where you play as this little kid that has a backpack that can shoot water, and you're basically trying to wash away all the mud that is basically destroying the world. So you collect coins because your grandma wants you to collect coins. You kill the mud, and you basically try to get to the end of the level without dying. Very retro. You take a hit, you're dead type game, although you do get multiple hits. You have life hearts and stuff like this, but very similar to kind of retro platformers where you take a hit and that's all it is. A lot of fun. The controls are bang on. Even on iOS, the controls were amazing. So I can't wait to play this on the gamepad because it does support off-screen play. So I could just play it on my gamepad and be happy with that. So June 13th, if you want to check out Mutant Mudds, you can go and do that. Hopefully they'll have a demo for you, Steven, to check out.
That'd be cool, and then I could see if I'd like to give it another try on the bigger screen.
Yeah, I just want to see these things redrawn in 1080p. That'll be a lot of fun. Like, I love retro sprite art on a big screen if they do it right, so there's no jaggies and stuff. It just pops. It's like watching an old like Disney or Pixar kind of animated thing. It just, I don't know, the contrast between the different moving things on the screen always kind of really pop, and they look really good. So I'm really looking forward to see what Mutant Mudds can do on my big television. All right. Next up, we got a couple Japanese stories. Only reason why I put them in is because really there's nothing else to talk about. And usually when stuff comes out in Japan, it eventually makes its way here to North America as well. So the first up is a new Wii U premium bundle that is coming out in Japan on July 13th. It comes with a 32 gig deluxe set, but they're calling it the premium set. The difference between this one and the current deluxe set is it's white. So they're confusing people because if you see a white Wii U, you know it's 8 gig and you know it's not as good as the black one because the black one has more storage. Now in Japan, you can get a white one that has 32 gigs of storage in it as well. Well, not now, but in July, you'll be able to. So I'm sure they'll release that in North America. I know there's a lot of people that were complaining that they wanted the white one, but it was only 8 gigs. So they ended up buying the black one, which collects more dust and doesn't look as nice. They kind of like the white aesthetic from the Wii, which I get. So yeah, I guess this will be coming out probably sometime. It'll probably be talked about at E3 if anything, and we'll know that to see if this is coming out to North America. But I would assume that it would be. It doesn't have a special decal on it. It's not painted to look like a Famicom. It'll probably make it over here in North America.
It's not super desirable enough.
Exactly.
To deny.
It doesn't look cool, so it's not. It will come out here. All the cool stuff stays in Japan.
Yeah, it's actually a little bit annoying to me because I didn't want a black Wii U. I wanted a white one. Yeah. But I didn't want to, give up the other things that you get for the extra $50.
Yeah, the digital deluxe promotion, the charge stand, the extra storage. I mean, yeah, you had to give up a lot just to get the color that you wanted.
Right, and I didn't even care so much about Nintendo Land. I had no interest in Nintendo Land, and sure enough, I haven't played it in a very long time. Yeah. But and now they, this talk of a white deluxe one. It's a little bit annoying if they drop the price before then too. I'll be like, why didn't I just?
I should have waited. Damn you,
Should have
Nintendo.
just waited. I mean, and it's not even like you, Lloyd. I mean, you have how many Wii U games do you have? I know you bought Zombie U, you bought Assassin's Creed 3 for that.
Yeah.
You bought Little Inferno. You've bought a lot of games for your Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Black Wii U Ambassador Program.
Exactly. We'll have an ambassador certificate on our Black Wii U. You can look at it, and we'll scroll the text in English and then every other language. It'll be fun. Don't you want one of those, Steven?
Sure, why not? While they're at it.
All right. Speaking of other things from Japan, there was news this week that on July 25th, Nintendo's actually going to be releasing an extended battery pack for the gamepad. It'll be 2,550 milliamp hours compared to the current one, which I think is about 1,200 milliamp hours. So it about doubles your battery. Or sorry, it's 1,500 in the current one. So it almost doubles your battery life, which is a good thing. They're going to be selling it for $31 though.
How much is the Nico one? Because the Nico one is 4,000.
Yeah, and it apparently is shipping now. I saw some people posting that they actually received their extended battery thing, and I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was like something like $24. Like it was really cheap, and yeah, that's more. 4,000 is more than 25, so that would be more. You would get.
I guess they're
more
saying like
that.
a 12. It's like a 12-hour battery. They're saying something like that.
Yeah, it pretty much you'll never run out of juice as long as you charge it every night when you're done playing.
Yeah.
Because constantly when I play, if I sit down and play the Wii U, I'm not by the power plug where the thing charges. I could put an extension cord on it, but I don't want to have cords laying all over my living room or my basement. So I sit there, and then it's probably within about 2.5 hours, it's dead. Like they say, you get 4 hours to charge. Nope. I get about 2.5 to 3 hours. And when I get time to play, like I have kids, I work, and I do podcasting and do other things and spend time with the family. And then there'll be days where the family's out doing something, or it's late and I want a game from, say, 9 o'clock to 1 in the morning because I don't have to go to work tomorrow or whatever. And I hate that when I'm playing games for a nice chunk of time and then my gamepad dies. It's like, really? So this little piece of electronics is limiting my game time, which is already really limited as it is already. Nothing annoys me more. And then I have to like pull all my chairs up and move like the tables up closer to the entertainment center. And I'm basically, it's basically like I have a head mounted device because I'm so close to the television. It's just super, super annoying. So I definitely need to pick up one of these, or the Nyko one. I mean, that would be the better one to pick up if there's anywhere to get it local.
My understanding is that it's on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if it's currently in stock.
I'll have to see if it's on Amazon.ca, because sometimes I can't order game stuff from Amazon.com. I'm going to do a search right now just to double check and see what the price is and what the shipping times are. Because yeah, that would be the ultimate thing to get. Power pack for Wii U did not return anything. Oh, that's power adapter for Wii U. Okay. No, it doesn't look like it's on Amazon.com or .ca rather. But it is on Amazon.com apparently. And it is available for $50. Yikes. Oh. Okay, because this is from a reseller.
Oh, okay.
Or no, it's from Nyko directly. Huh. And there's only 7 in stock. Oh no, sorry. No, that's wrong. It ships from Games to Play. So it is a reseller. So yeah, because I think it was like super cheap when it was originally announced. So I'm surprised that it is.
Nyko's website. Is it Nyko or Nico? I don't even know.
I don't even know.
U-Boost. Wii U U-Boost. Extended battery pack for Wii U gamepad. Scope it.
It's not called the Power Pack anymore?
Play longer with Nico's U-Boost for the Wii U gamepad. The U-Boost works in conjunction with the existing gamepad battery, providing 2 times the battery power for up to 10 hours of playtime.
Yeah, that's the thing that adds like a stand. It basically turns it into a small like vehicle that you can sit in. I think it has speakers and rumble, and it floats.
And that one's 25.
Maybe that doesn't do all that stuff, but yeah, there's a couple other things as well. They announced a whole bunch of stuff for the Wii U, like the charge base and some other stuff. But yeah. Anyway, we'll have to look into it and maybe talk about it next week if it's actually shipping, because that would be the one to get. If it's only like $20, I mean, it would be much better than buying the Wii one. Oh yeah, there it is. Power pack for Wii
Charge
U.
Base Pro, is that it? No,
Nope.
that's something different.
Just the power pack. Yeah, $24.99. So I was right. Triple the battery capacity replacement. But you can't order it directly. You have to find a retailer, and then it's finding the retailers that actually have it available for stock, which will be a problem. Not available online. Okay, maybe it's not actually shipping yet, but hopefully soon. I hope. I don't know. Anyway, that was kind of wasting everybody's time here, so I do apologize if you didn't want.
Well, this is information they probably want.
That's true. That's very true. But yeah, they have the power stand, which just is a charger, and then they have the U Boost, which is that thing that it just looks wacky. It's got like a kickstand. It has extra grips on the back. It only gives you 2 times your battery life, not 3. So
yeah, that's not the same thing.
And it's funny. It says it's unobtrusive. It is huge. It is like this mammoth thing. It's like taking a Game Boy Fat, like the original Game Boy, and duct taping it to the back of your gamepad, and then putting a kickstand on it. How is that unobtrusive? Like that? Do they not know what that word means? I don't know.
It's kind of silly.
Anyway, so yeah, hopefully this stuff is shipping soon. At least we know that Nintendo's going to have a solution for us if none of these third-party companies tend to pan out. Japan is also, or in Japan, Nintendo's also releasing a bundle that has the new Wiimote Pro. That's the ones that say Wii U on them. They have a bundle with Nintendo Land and a Wiimote. Or the Wiimote Plus, I think they call it, and they're $59, so just a little bit more than just buying the Wiimote by itself. And you get Nintendo Land for probably about $15 to $20, depending on where you're buying it from. So yeah, it looks like they're coming out with a lot of accessories. I fully expect to hear a lot about this at the Nintendo Directs right around E3, and we'll see what Nintendo's bringing to North America.
Cool.
All right, man. I think that's it. There's no news, guys. I would love to do a longer show and talk about more stuff, but there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. Anything you want to add, Steven? Do you have any short stories you want to read out? Any monologues you want to test out for the public here on the show?
I'd like to say that I thought that this was a really cool show because we got to socialize quite a bit with the people in the chat room, and I added 5 or 6 people to my friend list. I now have 20 friends on my 3DS.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, like, there's people that have been listening to this podcast for the better part of 5 years or more. When it was the DS Life or Wii Spot, we do this live, and we do it live every Thursday night at. We start around 10 p.m. Central, depending on what part of the world you're in. Obviously, that time changes. I do the Touch of Gaming on Thursdays, and then the Nintendo Pulse goes right after it. And when we do the show, we regularly have 10, 15, 20 people even just idling in the chat room, just chatting in the background. We interact with you. We type to you. We even answer your questions on the air. If you guys would like to hang out while we do a show, just definitely come out. It's a hell of a lot of fun. If you go to vgpodcast.com/live, you can see a recording schedule, and it's a Google calendar. So if you add it to your calendar and set a reminder, it'll actually remind you right before the show, so you will never miss it. So we'd love to see you guys. We'd love more voicemails and more emails. We just want more interaction. Like, this is the fun part of doing a show, sitting here and seeing people like make me laugh and trying to screw me up while I'm talking, which isn't hard, by the way, but they throw the jokes in the chat room and it's hard to read sometimes. That is the best part about sitting here and doing these shows, doing it live on the VG Podcast Network. So thanks to everybody that comes out and hangs out. I know that if we have 10 people in the chat room, we usually have about 3 or 4 people that are just watching the stream that are not in the chat room. So if you're too scared to come in the chat room, we don't bite. Just click the little join us below the video on vgpodcast.com/live. Type in your name or not and hit connect, and you'll join the chat room, and you can chat with other like-minded people that just want to talk video games and cool stuff that's out there right now. So yeah, look forward.
And I've been on a few other podcasts, a couple other podcasts, not as many as you, Lloyd, but they're all feel, in comparison to this, none of them had a chat room or anything like this, and there was never video. Actually, I think we did video a couple of times on the Arrow podcast. But the difference is pretty dramatic. It feels very insular and kind of sterile. Yeah, Foreman knows because he was on there. To actually have part of the audience here watching while the podcast is made, you actually feel like, there are listeners to the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously, there are a hell of a lot more people listening to this show than listen to any of the other shows that I've been on. But still, it's really cool to have that kind of organic kind of a feeling to it.
Yeah, it's a sense of community. It definitely is. It is cool to basically get an email question coming in and then going to answer it on the show, and the person that sent it in is actually in the chat room and they get the live feedback right there, which is pretty cool. Yeah. A lot of fun. So anyway, that's enough Wii Spot. I was going to say Wii Spot. That's enough Nintendo Pulse love-in for today. But yeah, we would love for you guys to join us when we do the show live, vgpodcast.com/live for show times. We do this one, as I said, around 10 p.m. Central every Thursday night. We do the bonus stage on Friday nights at the same time. And we also do the Touch of Gaming just before we do the Nintendo Pulse. So show up for Touch of Gaming, stay for Nintendo Pulse, and have a fun night of chatting with other gamers. Let us know what you think. Head on over to vgpodcast.com and click Contact Us at the top of the page to send us an email. I'm going to start Donkey Kong Country while we talk because I've been playing that. So I got this theme music stuck in my head.
Let's do it.
Yeah, send us an email at vgpodcast.com. Click Contact Us. Email us directly, vgpodcast@gmail.com. You can call our voicemail line, as I said many times in this show, 505-VG Podcasts. Thanks a lot to P&P Games for sponsoring the network. Love that place. Check them out, pnpgames.com. And yeah, Steven, thanks for another great show. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a good time too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, always happy to have you on the show, since you are the co-host and all. I mean, you kind of got to be here, or there isn't a show, man.
No, that's true. Can't really do it by yourself. It's we had an episode of the Arrow podcast where Hago did the show by himself.
That was awkward, was it?
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Foreman, you remember that one?
I did the PSP podcasts since 2004, 2005, and I did it by myself. And I actually went, was it yesterday or today? I noticed that someone had hit the website and they were listening to all the old shows for PSP podcasts. And this is stuff from early on in the PSP's life. So I went and listened to it, and it was just like, how can I sit there for 45 minutes and talk into a microphone and not feel awkward at all, and not have people just not listen again? People loved the PSP podcasts. I got tens of thousands of listeners to some of the shows, which is just it's me sitting into a crappy microphone talking about PSP. It was so bizarre, but it was fun. But yeah, I can't imagine doing this show by myself. I can't imagine doing a show by myself anymore. This whole VG Podcast Network, doing it live, having a co-host, having video so I can see the person's face. Yeah. It just changes the whole thing, man.
It definitely does. There's a lot more. It does work so much better with video.
Yeah, totally. All right, guys. Well, that's going to about do it for episode 48 of Nintendo Pulse. Thanks for staying subscribed and staying tuned in. You can find us on Twitter, VGPod, or I'm VGPod and Dasme. So if you want to follow the network, it's VGPod. Or if you just want to follow me, because I talk about sports, food, barbecuing, stupid stuff, you can follow at Dasme on Twitter. Steven's on Twitter as well, at Steven J. Munn. And until next week, guys, have fun playing your Oracle Ages or Oracle of Seasons, or both. They're both fun games. Take it easy, guys.